Yeah, baby!
Hello!
Wow, this is really early for me to be doing this.
I feel like you're too loud.
Yeah, I'm going to wake up the neighbors who, I don't know, should be at work already. I like how we're saying this is too early for us, and this is literally the time 99% of the world starts working.
Exactly. But no, we haven't been this up since before we started doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, no, I should not be up this early. Oh, no, we were actually up this early on Saturday because we were at NY Fest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I was mentally checked out.
Yeah,
but no, well, we're so excited to be here.
Imagine we just kept talking. We never introduced our guest.
That's like the bit of the show.
That's the podcast, baby.
We're insanely thrilled because not only is it early, and I'm really just proud of myself for being up this early.
We did it, buddy.
We did it. But shouts to us.
Yeah, shouts to us. We're amazing.
But we are here with a U.S. Women's National Team player,
Wow.
an absolute star.
Going to the World Cup,
We're honored. We cannot believe she's here. Please, Alexis, introduce our guest today.
I mean, look, you clicked on the video, you clicked on the podcast, so you already know who it is. Absolutely incredible. U.S. Women's National Team, Washington Spirit, NWSL's own Rose Lavelle, everybody.
Hello, Rose.
Hi.
Yeah.
Rose, we usually ask when players are on the show for the first time, but most soccer players are not often on like comedy shows or comedy podcasts. What's your connection or interest in comedy? Do you have any favorite stand-up comedians? Is there anything, any favorite comedy podcast? Are you excited to be here?
Have you heard of comedy?
I've heard of comedy.
Good.
My favorite stand-up comedian is, I don't know many,
Okay.
but I would say,
Besides us.
besides you guys,
You're really putting a lot of tension in the room here.
Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
So the fake character
the fake
of
character
Steve Carell.
Yeah.
From The Office.
All right, well, we've got work to do.
Okay, yeah. So,
As comedians.
have you ever met stand-up comedians before?
No.
All
Okay.
right, well, there you go.
First
You
time
should
for
be
everything.
honored.
All right.
Yeah.
So, this is exciting. All right. So now, all right, a little bit of pressure because obviously, if this doesn't go well, you'll probably never go to a stand-up comedy show or anything like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So Rose, thank you so much for being here. There's a lot going on, right? We'll talk about why there's tape on the table.
It's not just because it's a shoddy made table. There's actual, for those listening, there's like performance tape, but we'll talk about it in a second.
But you are here. You're in New York. Why are you in New York? Let's ask that to start.
I'm just here for a little media day.
Okay.
Fun.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And this is the first stop on the tour.
This is the first stop on the tour.
Okay.
Starting out with a banger.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
Isolate that audio.
It's going to be pretty much downhill after this.
Yeah.
I
I
assume.
know. Yeah.
You're going to get asked the same 13 questions over and over and over again. How did it feel to score that goal? How does it feel to play?
But and you did. So we usually are not filled with like an audience, but you came here with a crew.
Yeah, you've got an entourage.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is why it's media day, but the whole media department is here.
Yeah. Just a bunch of dangerous looking people with you. I mean,
Some just influential people in soccer out here. Is this generally like a good experience to do these kinds of things? Is this the first time you're doing these something this kind of to this scale?
yeah, because when you were a kid and you're like, oh, I want to be a professional soccer player. I can't wait to travel around and talk to people on microphone. That wasn't part of it, right?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't part of my thought process when I was 9. But this is the first time I've done a day like this. So
Okay.
I'll let you guys know how it goes at 10 p.m. when it's all over.
Update us, yo.
Yeah, you guys will be up.
Yeah, that's when we start our day. 10 p.m., that's when we wake up. How does, coming from wanting to just play professionally, I know Wisconsin, right? And then you went to Boston Breakers, now you're Washington Spirit, all these things. When they add stuff like this, media days or just like tons of interviews and stuff like that, how does that feel for someone like you? Like, especially in the middle of like a season, is this something that, you're like, this is cool that I get to do this? Or is it something where you're like, all right, I have to do this to continue to do the other thing? Like, how does that make you feel?
I mean, I think it's cool to get these opportunities, and I think it's like a little weird because I still just feel like I'm like just myself.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
kind of like, why do you want me to do it?
Yeah, just little
Like, I don't-
Rose from
yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. But I think it's cool. I think it's like a cool way to build my platform and reach out to people and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we get weirded out when like people come up to us and if they just know who we are, we're like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, we did a 8-city tour last summer, and I forget where we were. It's either Columbus or Cincinnati, and someone came up to us and they were like, "How's your wife doing?" And I'm like,
Okay, well, all right, now you know too much.
I'm like, how you know how my wife's doing? What do you mean? Like, I just immediately became the kid from the East Coast.
And
I was like, who told you? And I was like, oh, right. I said that on the podcast. And that's right. You're from Cincinnati.
I am.
So Cincinnati's starting to get known for some other things besides that garbage pasta with chili on top. Oh,
Okay, all right. Before
so bad.
Oh my gosh.
this is all right. I don't want her fighting you on this show.
Imagine Rose just punches me in the face.
Alexis is a food expert. He's a pizza expert.
Well, apparently not if you don't like Skyline.
Skyline, that upper echelon of cuisine.
I haven't had it.
Consider yourself lucky. It's overcooked pasta. Now there's like what you could do
No,
chili.
you gotta get the cheese coney.
The cheese coney.
Yeah.
Is that just a hot dog?
It's not just a hot dog.
What's
It's
the cheese
a
coney
It's a
specific?
Coney Island hot dog, which is
It's a
from
hot
Coney
dog
Island.
with chili and cheese, and then you can get onion and mustard.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I just picture myself tucking a napkin in, knife and forking that bad boy with a little bit of wine.
Yeah.
Rose is like, yeah, well, welcome to Cincinnati.
Yeah, Alexis is very capable. He knows a lot more about food than I do, obviously. But the main thing is like you can clearly find like there's a real connection between a person's culture and upbringing and the food that they had, and Alexis doesn't care about that at all.
Not
right?
at all.
So.
I take your memories and I throw them out the window and I give you my opinion. But like soccer has just become massive all of a sudden in Cincinnati. It may have always been, but we certainly didn't recognize it. Growing up, was soccer as big as it is now in Cincinnati? Was it something that when you did, people were like, why are you playing this sport? Because that was sort of our experience growing up.
I actually have always kind of felt like Cincinnati was a really underrated soccer city. Like, I feel like there were a lot of big clubs and a lot of big talent going out of Cincinnati, like a lot of players that went on to play Division I. We had Heather Mitz. So I've kind of always felt like it was a soccer city, and I'm glad that now we have a team that can help showcase that and put Cincinnati on the map.
Yeah, and I got to see a video of you getting a chance to react or being told the news that you were going to play at Nippert. What did that mean to you, playing at Nippert? Like, is that Nippert was just where we saw FC Cincinnati playing. We didn't know it was like a big deal. Just because we don't know too much about Cincinnati. But for you, someone growing up, getting a chance to play professionally in that stadium, how does that make you feel? Was that the first time your family got to come out and see you like in a big Cincinnati sort of establishment?
Yeah, so the last time I played in Cincinnati prior to that was in high school, I think. Like, the last time my parents saw me play was probably like a club game in Cincinnati, and I have a huge family. My mom's one of 12, so I have like 40 cousins on that side.
So this is how you always roll around?
Yeah, so this is, I'm used to this.
That's mom. That's my sister. That's my cousin.
Someone's just making turkey. No.
Yeah, so they are always like traveling to come see me play. So to be able to come back to Cincinnati and play in front of them and play in front of the city that I feel like has kind of built me into who I am, it was really special.
My dad is actually also one of 12, and I had seen you talking about that, and I'm like, what a weird thing to connect. Like, I feel like just nowadays, I mean, you're a couple years, you're like 15 years younger than me, give or take. But the fact that still exists is weird, right? Why? How could there be one of 12
Yeah, we
even
have
nowadays?
TVs in the bedrooms now. What are we doing?
This should not be. This should not be happening. Is there like, as far as you must have so many younger cousins, especially looking up to you and stuff like that. I know, like, one of my cousins, he's like 12 now, and he's like, I want to do stand-up comedy like you. And I'm like, oh no!
Don't you dare!
What a big mistake! What have I
Talk
done?
to your parents. Have him call my wife. She'll get that right out.
What is it like just being that inspiration, almost just within your family?
Well, actually, a lot of my cousins are older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're inspiring them very
Yeah.
much. They have not accomplished as much as you have.
Right, you're probably way more successful than me.
But I feel like Cincinnati, it's one of those cities where, like, when you grow up there, you don't ever really leave there. So I feel like at home when I come to my club. that I played for, and I feel like it's really cool to see girls that were in I was in their shoes one day, and I feel like it's cool that I can kind of serve as that inspiration that they can be in my shoes one day.
Sure.
So it's fun.
Yeah, is there a certain amount of pressure, even doing these kinds of things? And because I feel like a lot of women athletes, not only are they playing the sport, not only do they have to like kind of build their own brands.
They got to be popping on Instagram.
Yeah. But there is this also pressure to like to extend the rope, behind you, so that they extend that ladder, so that other women can either one just believe that they can make it. Is there a certain sense of responsibility and pressure, just even playing for the women's national team, playing in NWSL, rising the popularity of the sport? Do you feel that on your shoulders, like day to day?
I don't really feel pressure from that. I feel like I came at a cool time with the national team where there was a new wave of people, but there was also a lot of veterans still on the team, and it's been cool to learn from them. And I feel like they've laid down such an awesome path for all of us, and really lead by example. So I feel like I've learned a lot from them, and something that I'm going to kind of hopefully help apply, help inspire the next generation too.
Yeah.
When you started playing, when you were younger, I think a lot of things that are happening now, there was an interview with a young child, and they were like, who's some of your favorite players? And he was like, I love Messi. I love, he named another male player. And then he was like, I also love, God, I'm drawing a blank now, Alex Morgan. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I heard a young boy say he was inspired by a player that is a woman. And I thought that was absolutely awesome. This has sort of been advancing. And I remember growing up, I talked to a lot of, soccer players, whether they were boys or girls. And a lot of time the women soccer players would say they were inspired by male players. Mm-hmm. Did you grow up at a time where you got to see, women's soccer, especially in America, be really successful and players do really, really well, whether it be World Cup or whatnot? Where did you draw your inspiration from?
I was obsessed with Mia Hamm.
Yeah?
She was my girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have picked worse, right?
Yeah.
She did pretty good, right? Who do you think you model your game after?
I don't feel like I've ever modeled my game after one particular person. I feel like I've always liked kind of picking and choosing little pieces from everyone's game and trying it out.
You're just no, I'm me. I inspire myself. I just happen to be amazing at this.
Are there any people in particular, who are your homies, right, in the women's national team, or wherever in the spirit? I had seen a video with this MTV Cribs type thing with Andy Sullivan and Mallory Pugh, but
I believe it's pronounced Pug. No,
Pug. Okay, I make the mistake so much. But wow, who are the people that you immediately sort of bonded with on the women's national team?
Well, I mean, I did come, like I said, at a time when there was a lot of new players coming in. So, yeah, it's a lot of the younger players are my close friends, like Sonnet and Sam, Lindsay, Sunny, Andy, Mal. They're my homies.
Well, we had Ali Krieger on the show a couple of months ago, and we never met her in person before, but she became our best. She's our best friend. Mm-hmm. I know those are all your friends.
Yeah.
But she is our best friend.
She's our homie. Also, the funniest person we've ever heard on our show.
Yeah, we always.
I was like, "Where's this been? How did I not know this?"
And we asked her as well. The one thing, because the women's game is not as covered in general, as much as the men's game, we as comedians, that's the thing that we're always looking for. Who is just straight up hilarious? Where are these personalities, and why are they sort of muted from time to time? One point that she made was that there's a pressure that women may feel to kind of promote themselves, right? They want to work with brands and things like that. So there's a fear of being silly or being goofy in that maybe it'll affect an endorsement or something like that. So is that do you sort of agree with that? Is that necessarily a thing, or is that maybe she is more of a veteran player? Maybe that was the mentality back then, and maybe it's changing now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's changing because I feel like I'm pretty.
He's a big
not serious at all.
You're I don't consider that.
Yeah. So I don't feel that way. And I kind of feel like brands want you because of your personality and who you are. So I don't really feel like I hold back in that sense.
All right, good.
But I mean, she's been around longer than me, so maybe times have changed.
Who knows? I mean, back in the 1800s, Allie Krieger started playing soccer.
Those pterodactyls flying overhead, taking the soccer balls out of the air. The women's game is getting so much more respect. It's getting so much more. Like, I love the fact that now people are like getting called out for saying it's the Women's World Cup. It's like, nah, son, it's a World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not saying it that way. Maybe that's just the way I'm saying it.
No, that's how Rose says it. She goes, nah, son, it's just a World Cup.
That's some respect, my guy. How does that feel now? Like you've sort of come at like this weird turn for sports in America, where like the women's game is getting so much more respect. You're getting a chance to sort of just be like, nah, I'm a soccer player. I'm not a woman's soccer player. I'm just a soccer player. That's got to feel good because when you started, it wasn't necessarily like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's cool too, seeing like so many other countries are evolving, and like we played Spain in January, and I don't think we've played them before, and they were incredible. And I feel like there's now like this World Cup, I feel like it's really up for grabs because there's so many countries that can compete at the high level with like the top teams. And I feel like you're seeing more and more like even just club games across the world, like drawing thousands of people, and it's fun, it's exciting, and I think after the World Cup, it's going to be even bigger.
Yeah, the matches for the She Believes Cup weren't that great for the U.S., but as far as looking forward, right? Because before that, you guys were on an incredible streak and were incredibly dominant. And I think something happens, right? When these tournaments happen and you face some newer teams, it's like you sort of reset and you realize that like, oh, they've been practicing a little bit. So like
did they get their own Title IX? What's going on out there? Yeah.
This is not fair. I do not allow it.
No, hold up, we win.
But dealing with that adversity, how does that make you feel about going into the World Cup coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good year last year, and it was awesome. Winning's fun, but I don't really want to go into a World Cup undefeated. I think you learn a lot more from your losses, and I think that's been the case this year. I feel like we've learned a lot during those games about ourselves. That's going to help us in the World Cup more so than the games that we win, 3-0, 4-0. So, I mean, it's not fun not getting the result you want, but I think it makes us better because of it.
Yeah, there was a moment. I forgot who you guys were playing. Was it Belgium the last game? Yeah. You guys were up 6-0, and there was a great moment. I seen a photo of Allie Krieger and Kristen Press.
Arguing like it's got to be this.
Strategizing up 6-0.
I'd be talking about where you want to go eat after this.
But there's something it doesn't matter what the scoreline is, right? Clearly, it's like we're trying to score as many as we can. We're trying to play as good as we can because we've dealt with losses, right? So this winning 6-0 doesn't make up for the fact that not winning the She Believes Cup or anything like that. So it's like that. There seems to be an incredible intensity. More so, I'm not going to say that it doesn't exist in every game, but the World Cup is coming up. I'm sure people are kind of fighting for spots, right?
Right.
So that kind of intensity seems to be very much there, and it's almost there's 2 more games left, 2 more friendlies. Where are you as far as that kind of like mentality and that pressure you put on yourself and that intensity? Where are you right now? Right before World Cup, yeah.
Like, do you want to head a ball right now? Boom, score a goal.
Yeah. I mean, I think like once the team is fully set, it's kind of like you transition out of that individual mentality, because I feel like for a long time it's just people have been fighting for spots, and we've definitely still been building on that cohesion, but now once the roster's announced and we go into camp and we'll have like the actual team going into the World Cup, I think it's going to get more cohesive. So it kind of shifts more to like even more team oriented than before. So I don't really feel like I can put all the focus on me. That's like a little selfish.
Oh, come on. But, you're the only one on the show right now.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun, and it'll be like different because I haven't experienced that yet, being at a camp when like the actual roster set going into a tournament. Yeah, it's it's not about me now.
But be honest though, when you're up like 6-0 and there's like what 5 minutes left in the game, don't you want to just be like, yo, put me in goal, let's see what happens, you know?
I used to be the backup goalie for my club team.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a goalie. Yeah.
All right. Does Jill know this?
Right.
You know.
I'll let her know.
We got to get that information out
Yeah.
there. But like, I can't imagine being up 6-0 and still being like, but you're letting this player get past you. I'd be like, yo, you wanna, I don't know, you wanna text me later. Yo? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be like still playing.
I mean, we're
Mercy rule.
We're definitely in. I don't think I've ever been in a particular position of that much pressure. Like even before a show, right?
Yeah.
Like if we do a comedy show, we're like, you get a couple butterflies because it's like you're excited about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But it's also not like 20 million people watching me do a show. So I can imagine there might be a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, there's also no like winning or losing when you're a comic. You just get up on stage, you tell jokes. That's it.
We've already lost
But
just by.
nobody laughed. That's kind of losing.
Well, no, I mean even then it's still kind of fun when you're like fully bombing, right? Just like no one's laughing, and you're like, in your head, no matter what I say, it's not going to change this. They've decided as a group, which is really impressive, that they hate me. So you're just like, well, now this is for me. When it started, it was like it would rip your soul apart. I had the worst bomb I ever had. I was on stage and the mic wasn't working, and it was a bunch of guys at a golf course, and they were drunk already. They didn't care, and I'm like, well, at least no one gets to see this. And all of a sudden, someone starts walking out filming, and I go, buddy, you're not allowed to film. Pulls the camera away from his face, the phone. It's my wife's cousin. And he goes, you're on FaceTime with the whole family. And I'm like, wow. So everyone knows about this one? That Christmas is going to be fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, even that is bad,
Yeah.
but it's not like some own goal
Well, actually,
in the
that
World
moment,
Cup.
I wish Ali Krieger would have come up and be like, what are you doing? Do this joke this way. That would have been a lot more fun.
Another thing I did want to ask is you have there's a dog that pops up in your
Wrinkles.
in your
Yes.
life very often. You are very public about your love for your dog and love for dogs in general. I've never had a pet before. Crazy.
Weird,
My parents didn't allow it.
Yeah.
And
Same here.
Yeah. So exactly, that face makes total sense. You made the same face when he talked about the Skyline chili.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted.
What is the dog has an Instagram account, right?
She does.
She does.
At
Okay.
Wilma Jean Wrinkles?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay.
Now, you don't have the dog with you in Washington?
No.
Oh, so they're back in Boston or?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Okay. And
You
it's
allow the dog to eat the pasta with the chili on top.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, she'll
Those
lick the
dogs are
bowl when they're done.
No,
Yeah,
stop.
and
Come
she
on,
gets
those-
this little like chili beard.
Those dogs, chili beard, I've never heard, and I want one now. Those dogs are famous for like having like human-sized poops. I can't imagine what it's like after a Skyline chili. No comment from that.
I don't really go out and expect it. But
okay. Yeah, but you're required to pick it up. Okay.
Especially in New York.
So tell us about the dog a little bit. Just and running a dog Instagram account. Do you handle it or someone else does?
Does the dog do it himself or herself?
Her PR does it.
Okay.
My mom.
Oh, so your mom handles it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
PR puppy reporter?
Yeah.
Huh? Not bad.
Yeah.
Is
Tough crowd to make laugh. I'm not going to lie to you.
do you have any input in what gets posted or anything like that?
Yeah, it's definitely a group effort.
All right.
Wilma gets the final say, obviously.
Obviously, you know.
She just paused.
Pause.
twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
That's what made you laugh. this whole time.
is there a puppy Tinder or? Okay, so cool. So there's like a group effort, kind of building the Wilma's brand.
And for those of you who don't know, it's just a huge English bulldog, right? It's an English bulldog.
She's actually very petite.
Very petite. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I guess when you hold her, she seems like
Alexis,
a much
you do not talk about a woman's weight. Do not do
I
that.
should have known. No. I was going to ask how old she is, but I know better. Still 27. Very cool.
Okay, so that's fun. Maybe it's a little bit of a break from the pressures of the game and stuff like that to focus on the dog. I don't know. Again, I've never had a pet. I think I'm gonna be the first to start a dog Instagram account before I have a dog.
Without a dog?
Yeah, I think that might be my
Taking
move.
pictures of other people's dogs. We'll just repost all of Wilma Jean's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, get those likes up.
Yeah.
What made you want to start an Instagram for your dog, or was this your mother?
No, it wasn't my mom. We had a pug before her.
Okay.
And
We don't talk about the pug anymore.
no, Duchess was great. Duchess Walter Hobbs, that was her name.
I'm just going to fix your mic for you while you talk. Go ahead.
And she had a Twitter.
Okay.
And then Wilma came around and Instagram became more popular.
Nice.
So Wilma got an Instagram.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
Did you have a cat that had MySpace like way back in the day when you were a kid?
Cat people. We are not cat people.
You reacted to cat the way you reacted to finding out I didn't like pasta or with chili on top, and he didn't never had a pet.
The other thing was I had asked briefly, living with Mallory and Andy. Do you still live with them?
I do.
Okay. So
The
this
video was like 2 weeks into this whole, and you guys were like, "This is
Yeah.
going to be great. How are we doing now?"
Yeah.
So the layout of our like furniture and all that hasn't changed.
Okay.
It's literally
So it still looks like a dorm.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like empty. We actually did just get a carpet this week, but
Very
so
nice.
there's like a couch, a carpet, and a TV.
Oh,
And that's-
they grow up so fast.
It did have a
That's
bit
it.
of a sleeper cell type of feel in the video.
Yeah. My mom had gotten me some like patio furniture. We have a little like deck. And that has stayed indoors as our kitchen table.
Very nice.
So it's just like really shambly, but it's great because we all love it.
yeah.
Okay.
And then nobody wants to change it. So it's great. There's no pressure or anything.
All right. That's great.
Yeah.
It seems like a fun bunch. I don't know. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. Also chill. It's not like one person just like,
Yeah, no
air
one-
guitaring on the couch while you're trying to watch a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, based on and look, I don't know the three of you like too well individually, but I feel like together I feel like there's a reasonable balance like based on like Andy seems like the responsible one, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Everyone says that. She is.
Yeah.
She is.
Saying just keeping the other two in check.
She's the one who does like the garbage list. Yeah. She's like, guys, it's been me the last 7 times. And I was like, Also found out you're a bit of a hip hop fan. It said in that video that you guys like to learn rap lyrics together. Or do you make your own? You got your own bars?
No, there was just one song we wanted to learn all the lyrics to.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes we make dances.
Okay.
We've been a little lazy the past couple months, so.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
yeah. So
exercising
nothing-
and stuff.
nothing new. is dropping
there's just a
anytime
World
soon.
Cup coming up, but I've been really lazy with my rap lyrics.
Yeah. You guys, take some time aside to just drop some
Really,
bars.
bro, you really should focus on really getting your bars right. because-
Honestly, where's your mind at, Rose? I know you have this like little competition coming up. But what about hip hop?
I mean, there's 40 people here that really want to make sure that you have a really great rap career.
Now, part of the reason why you're doing this whole media day is not just because you're amazing and you're going to be in the World Cup. You've also got these dope partnerships. We've got this athletic tape that we mentioned before, which you see. I see this all the time. Like when I'm watching TV, there's just people wrapped up in this tape, and I'm like, what does that even do?
It's just
I'm
for
like,
style.
I'm like, yo, these people got cuts. I'm like, what exactly is this? And yo, you get to be on the cover of tape. Like, yo, every I don't know what your retail partners are, so I'm not going to suggest the name of an athletic store, but like you're going to be dangling in front of kids and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to put it, but
Yeah, it's a very weird way to put it. But KT tape, tell us a little bit about it.
So I actually used it on my hamstring. I had a hamstring injury in 2017 that carried into 2018. Longer than I would have liked. So I just put like a little strip on my hamstring every game, and it kind of, I had a PT tell me that it helps like keep your muscle warmed up, and I'm like, say no more.
All right, Doc.
I'm not taking any risks. So I really like it. I feel like it gives me a little extra confidence and support when I'm playing, and helps me like take my mind off my injury and let me focus on.
You know the most
Soccer.
impressive thing about this tape, besides all the medical benefits to it, is the fact that every athlete I see wearing it is just like wild sweaty, and it's still on. I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, duct tape is falling off of something I put on 2 days ago, and you guys are just covered in sweat, and this tape somehow magically stays on.
Yeah, it does like stay on really well. I don't know how, but
You ever
it
put
does.
like designs with the tape? You ever put like a little message, like an F on the left leg, a U on the right leg?
all the time. Yeah.
All the opposite team is like, oh, I see what Rose is doing.
Yeah, because you ran past them.
Yeah. Take Damn. That's a double burn.
Yeah, all the time usually.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
That's dope. And what's up with this? What is this?
This is
A head wrap? What is this?
What is this? Is
Put it on.
It's a
Christian.
headband. Put
It's
it
a
on.
it's a headband. This is for
an American
the Women's
flag.
Sports Foundation. Women's Sports Foundation. Is this? I'm just gonna put it on. Is this? Yeah.
Is this something people could buy?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're asking the crowd.
Yeah.
How do I look?
Well,
Good.
Rose, why don't you tell us why it's on the table?
So KT Tape just partnered with the Women's Sports Foundation.
Okay.
And it's really cool. It's about giving opportunities to girls all over to play sports. Not everyone has the same opportunity, and I think right now in a very male-dominated world, it's exciting for KT Tape to be partnering with a brand like this.
Awesome. Yeah. This feels great. I mean, I feel like I can,
feel
if
it?
I had a lot more hair and a ponytail, I can really keep it in line.
For some reason, you look like you're like in an 80s boxing montage. For some
Actually,
reason.
looks pretty good.
It doesn't look bad.
Okay, you know what? This might be my new look forever.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if
like
you.
Christian the Riveter. You know?
Oh, let's do it. Yeah, this is great. Rose, thank you so much for being here and talking to us.
Wait, hold on. Where can people follow you? And just as importantly, where can people follow your dog?
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, but where? Like, what is your account?
Oh,
there you go.
Instagram is just Instagram is Lavelle Rose. Rose Lavelle was taken, unfortunately,
By who?
by some other Rose
You
Lavelle.
know what you do? You mark them inappropriate. You just keep doing that.
Great idea. Every day
It's
I'll
like
go
the-
back and do that.
It's like calling it a bomb threat, but for Instagram. It's everything.
Okay. All right. We're building the brand, guys.
We're
We're
going to
working.
get your name back. So it's Lavelle.
Yeah.
Yes.
ROSE.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you to say it. But you're like,
No,
wow,
I'm testing you.
You're like very, I would be wearing that on my forehead at all times.
Well, Rose, this has been an absolute honor. I hope you had a good time
I did.
talking to us and meeting your first stand-up comedians. I'm sure
This was an honor for you. This was an honor for us.
Clearly, this was obviously a huge opportunity for you. But no, this means the world, and we wish you the best going forward.
But this isn't our last interview because when you win the World Cup, you're bringing it back here, right?
You're bringing it.
Yeah, sure.
Bring it right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
she already told the whole crew.
Right. Everybody knows.
So schedule it. But
Which one of the 38 of you does her schedule? Put that down.
But we wish you the best at the World Cup and for the rest of the NWSL season. It's been an absolute honor. You're a hero to us and to a lot of other people. So we really appreciate you taking the time to come out here.
Well, thanks. Thanks
you
for
go.
having me.
All right, so you.
There's a certain way we end this show.
Okay.
And normally we yell Cooligans, and you'll know exactly when to do it. You ready?
Okay. So with that said, for Rose Lavelle, my name is Christian Polanco,
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
and together, what are we? The Cooligans!
I was supposed to do that, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rose. Cheers.
What's up? It's the world champion, Judah Friedlander, and you're watching the Cooligans. Why? Because you're cool. This is what winners look like right here, man.
I mean, you're looking at us.
Right now with my legs, I just juggled the ball 80,000 times.
You missed it.
Yeah.
He's been playing keepy uppy since I met him.
Yep, look faster, guys.
Go Team USA.